Problem number one is a mystery question. With mystery questions, we want to go ahead and pick the key word. So in this particular problem, it says the passage can be described as a fictional account of one man's experience with the sea. So the word that we're looking for here is going to be sea. Let's go ahead and take a look at where we're going to find that. If you scroll on up here, I'd start off finger scanning at the top of the page. Here it says, Kiam stretched himself out on the beach. So the beach is part of the sea because it's the edge of the sea. So I already know I'm getting close. And I start kind of slowing down. The waves is a Scooby-Doo synonym for sea, just like the beach is part of the sea. All right, I know I'm in the right area. Breathtaking giant, the water slowly, the edge of the sand, licking the ribs like a puppy, the eyes closed, relaxed, let him become part of the dream of the beach. There it is right there on line 6. It says become part of the dream of the beach. You'll notice that that also is located in the topic sentence. Not a bad idea to look there. And if you look at the answer choices, you want to try and see what is a synonym for that. I feel like that seems positive, so we could go ahead and cross out answer choices that are negative. All right, answer choice A, positive or negative. Presents several episodes of a man's life, each revealing a reason why he ultimately chosen to avoid the sea and becoming part of the sea. That's opposite, negative. A is out. B relies on the description of personification of a man controlled by the forces of the sea, just as ancestors did. Let's see. The man can control the forces. When you become part of the sea, you're not controlling. I feel like that's too strong. Let's hold off on that one. We know A is out for sure. See, remember what it said in the passage on line 6 is become part of the dream of the sea or the beach. All right, provide an impressionistic portrait of the sea as a powerful force that's closely connected. There it is right there. It's the Scooby-Doo synonym right here. Closely connected is going to be same as become part. Answer choice C is closer. That's the better answer choice. C. Just for fun, if you got it wrong, let's take a look at why D is wrong. D, offer concrete specific details about the element of the sea to demonstrate the sea is not as mysterious as it's sometimes seen. We don't really talk about mystery. That's off topic. We're going to go with answer choice C for problem number 1, kids. Problem number 2, it's a big picture question. It says the point of view from which the passage can be told can best be described as a narrator who does what. First thing I do before I start hunting around is this. I look at my answer choices and use the good stinky rule. F, mistrust, negative. G, defines the relationship, positive. H, reveals, that's positive. And answer choice J says understands. Okay? So just think of those feelings or emotions, positive or negative, and then what we do is we go up to paragraph number 1 and we start kind of reading. I usually start with paragraph number 1 and look towards the top. I'll maybe read the topic sentence and then a little bit further. Then I would go to the second paragraph, read the topic sentence a little bit further. Now remember, we have to read a little bit more when we're in prose fiction. Let's go back up and see if we can find in paragraph number 1 something that mentions a Scooby-Doo synonym for negative, mistrusting, or defining, revealing, or understanding. Let's go up in paragraph 1, start reading from lesson line number 1. All right, so here we are. It says, Khayyam stretched himself out on the beach. The waves rolled over the shore, measured regular breath of a giant. Water indulged sand, licked his ribs like a puppy. His eyes half closed. He let his muscles relax. Okay, so how do you know when somebody lets their muscles relax? Can you actually see that? Like, I feel like I'm not really sure. So let's go back over and take a look and see if we can find a Scooby-Doo synonym, and also is this positive or negative? All right, it seems like it's pretty positive. Go back to the question. The question answer choices here. It says mistrust the reason for coming to the beach. That's not relaxing. Define his relationship with Khayyam? Not really. Reveal his or reaction to his actions, or understand his inner thoughts. Well, when your muscles relax, you can't really see it. Probably you can think and see how he's thinking his inner thoughts. That's where I got it. I got it from line 5, everyone. So 2 is going to be J from line 5. Problem number 3, it's a line reference. Let's quickly review the techniques that you're going to use to get the right answer. Number one, we always want to try and look at the topic sentence. Number two, we would do is use the good stinky rule. We would read the sentence and then label it positive or negative. So go in and read 66 and 67, label it plus or minus. And then also what you'd like to do is you'd like to look for pirate flags. Pirate flags are words that suggest there's something weird going on. In particular, there's some type of a transition. The most common ones that you're going to see are pirate flag flip-floppers. We see the word but, we see the word yet, we see the word however, and we see the word although. These words tell you that the author is going to do a U-turn and change the good stinky rule. So if we start off positive, then we see one of these pirate flags going negative. You're going to see that what's on the other side of the pirate flag will switch the direction of the good stinky rule. Now, let's go in. We're going to read lines 66 and 67. Let's start with the plus minus good stinky rule. All right, so here we are on line 66. We notice that we start off with the pirate flag, so that's going to switch the good stinky rule. A faint worry rose in him here in front of this. This is a hazy pronoun from English, and we have to make sure we understand what this is. So I go back up here and I start looking and keeping in mind that this whole passage we said was the beach, the shore, and the sea. Okay, so here we have the salt fields, and down the villages are here and there behind the sea dikes. All right, so we have a village right here, and then we have a dike, which is basically like a wall or a barrier, and on the other side of the barrier is the sea. So why is this guy worrying? Because the sea is so close, and if that dike breaks, then that village is probably going to get ruined. Keep in mind that we're talking about this, which is going to be the dike, which refers us back to the beach. All right. So when we worry, that's negative. A pirate flag switches that to positive. Felt a sense of joy. So we know the answer choice has to be positive, and we know that the answer choice also has to talk about the sea. So let's go into the answer choices and weed them out. Negative answer choices can be crossed out, and the wrong noun also can be crossed out. All right, back to the answer choices. You know that we're looking for a positive thing, and we're looking for something that talks about the sea. Answer choice A says thoughts about the sun. That's the noun. All right, we'll circle that. Answer choice B says encounter with the sea. Circle that. C says the guest house. Circle that. And D says view of the salt production fields. We know that the big picture for the passage and what they're talking about was the sea, so it's answer choice B. And if you were to knock out this one, it's off topic for sure. Guest house, off topic. Salt production fields are above, but the salt production fields, that's not what the whole passage is about. Here it's village, but salt production field is the first noun that appears in this question. So remember, Candy List rule says first things first will usually be more important. For the advanced kids, you already know what that's a Scooby-Doo synonym for a mummy wedge. All right, mummy wedges present non-essential information, and in that piece of non-essential information, you're going to see that it's going to contain a noun, but that second noun just gives you more information about the first noun. All right, so let's just say I talk about, how about Jimmy, and then it says, you know, in 11th grade. 11th grade is a noun, and Jimmy is a noun. The most important one will appear first, Candy List rule, and the second noun here is a mummy wedge. In 11th grade, that's non-essential information, can be crossed out. Once again, problem 3 is B. Problem number 12, it's a line reference question. Remember the 3 tools that you're going to use here. We're going to look at the topic sentence. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to use the good stinky rule, positive and negative, and also you're going to go ahead and tool number 3 is look for pirate flags. Pirate flags tell you that the author is making a transition. All right. So first thing we do is let's go over, take a look at line 1627. All right. So here is our paragraph in question. Contrary to the view Neanderthals evolutionary failure. Contrary means opposite. That's like a however. Okay, so Neanderthals were evolutionary failure. Contrary, this failure part is going to have to switch. So this good stinky rule value is going to be positive because Neanderthals failed on the evolutionary scale is negative, but when you make it contrary to that, it's going to be positive. All right. Now we know that the main noun here is Neanderthal, and the verb or zerb is evolutionary. All right, so let's go in here. First thing we do is take a look at answer choice F, Neanderthal evolutionary success in terms of longevity. Okay, so we've got evolutionary success. Put a plus by that. Demonstrate Neanderthals harsh climates. That's a negative. Cross that one out. Good stinky rule violation. Pinpoint the timeline. Human development when the Neanderthal became extinct. That's negative as well. Cross that one out. And give details about how Neanderthal was successfully survived in various climates. That's positive. All right, first thing we did, good stinky rule to get it out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to use the noun and verb. So we come over here in the answer choices. We take a look at the noun and label it Neanderthal. And what happened? The Neanderthal, it's the zerb. Put a Z here. Zerb is kind of like your verb. It's what the main thing is doing. What's happening in Neanderthal? It's evolutionary success. Okay. Down over here in answer choice J, we have the same noun, Neanderthal. So we label that. It's the noun verb substitution. It says successful in climates. So we have basically climates or evolution. Go back up to the topic sentence. Here you see that we are the right noun, Neanderthal, but the verb here is evolutionary. All right, so the correct answer here on this particular problem is going to be answer choice F. Now be aware, here it says evolutionary success, and here it says evolutionary failure. But the word contrary is a pirate flag, so it's going to switch the value on that F for problem number 12. All right, don't forget your rules, kids. Once you get it down to 2, then remember it's all about Scooby-Doo substituting the noun and the verb. Problem number 16, it's a line reference. It says it can be reasonably inferred from the 6th paragraph, lines 71 to 79. That before the discovery highlighted in the passage, scientists tended to study Neanderthals mainly in terms of what? Now, since this is just single word answer choices, I glance at them: anatomy, behavior, culture, and intelligence. I know what they're going to do is they're going to give me a really long sentence, and I need to Scooby-Doo that long sentence into this one word. So it's either anatomy, body parts, behavior, their actions, their culture, how they live, or how smart they are in their brain. All right, now let's go over and take a look at that paragraph, paragraph 6. So here we are with our paragraph. First thing that's not a bad idea to do is to start with the topic sentence, and you'll see that this is a quote. It says, this was really the first demonstration of the Neanderthal. That's our main noun. Okay. Behaved in what we think is a fundamental human way. We continue on. The 1970s helped construct a catalog of the fossil in Baghdad. All right, now this is the part that's kind of cool. If you look over here, here's Mr. Chung's mouth. All right, you see that? Mr. Chung's mouth presents non-essential information that's going to give you more information about what we just said. When we read this, you see that we have 1, 2, 3, we have 4 lines and a half, 4.5 lines of text, and we see there's multiple nouns and multiple verbs, and nothing really pops off the page except the word Neanderthal, and it says that their behavior. But the question doesn't ask us about that. The question asks us, what is going on? How did we study them? So we know that when we're presented with Mr. Chung, M dashes, Mr. Chung, comma spaces, or Mr. Chung's parentheses mouth, we know that that gives you more information. So if you come over here, here it says one of the skeletons. There it is. So think Scooby-Doo version of a skeleton. Let's go back to the question. There it is, skeleton and anatomy, answer choice F. Remember, Mr. Chong from English will help us out with the reading as well. It's all about Scooby-Doo and interpreting. What's between brackets, commas, and dashes is non-essential information, but it does give you a mini definition of what you just stated earlier. Problem 22, if you got it wrong, it's a mystery question. Remember, mystery questions, you want to make sure that you pick the most specific word and then find it in a passage. Let's take a look. Passage indicates Tubman's activities before the Civil War. Civil War and Tubman. This one is the word that's probably going to be all over the place because passage is about Harriet Tubman. So Civil War would be the word that we're going to look for. Okay. They include all of the following except. So whenever you see least, not, or except, go ahead and circle this and make sure you understand what this means. That means 3 of the answer choices are going to be true. One of them is going to be false, and we're looking for the one that's false. So the word here is the word before the Civil War. Okay, so let's go ahead, finger scan for Civil War. When you come back up here, you're going to see that we see Civil War in this passage right here. Okay, and what we want to do is just simply read this. Okay, so now we're going to read that sentence. It says, across the Civil War, Tubman served as a teacher, landscaper, spy for the Union, helping the North, blah, 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 blah. So this is the area that we're going to try and get the correct answer. When you look at your answer choices here, you're going to see there is a pirate flag down over here that says during. You see this? During the Civil War. All right? So the correct answer here that's incorrect is going to be G, because here it says during the Civil War she was a spy, right? But here, a spy and a teacher, here it says we're looking for something that happened before the Civil War. All right, look at that real close. Make sure that you understand that. All right, the correct answer on 22 is G. Problem 23, it's a mystery question. It says the passage supports the conclusion that after the Civil War, Tubman did what? All right, so we're looking for Civil War. That should pop off the page because it's capitalized C and capitalized W, all right? And then we just have to look for after that war, all right? Let's go ahead, jump on in and see if we can find that area. All right, a little bit tricky here. We're looking for after the Civil War, and here the topic sentence says after the war. So that's assuming it's the Civil War, so it's in line 24. After the war, Tubman settled in Auburn, New York, where she struggled economically for the rest of her life, undertaking domestic work and public speaking for support of herself and dedicating, here it is right here, much of her energy to the philanthropic efforts on behalf of the freed people. So it looks like she struggled at a regular job and then she kept on promoting. Let's look at the answer choices for something that says the same thing, Scooby-Doo style, as what we just see here. All right, remained committed to helping others, and she had difficult circumstances of her own. Answer choice A. 23A. Problem number 27 is a line reference question. So what we want to do here, in this particular example, since the answer choices are kind of long, we're going to use the candy list rule. Candy list rule means that in your answer choices, we're just going to simply underline the first thing that appears here. Tubman's importance. Here it's a crucial role of Tubman. It's the responsibilities of Northern women, or it's the assistance of networks of slaves. Okay, now when we go over to 18 through 23, we're just looking at what the main noun is. Is this about Tubman and something that's important? A crucial role about Tubman? Is this the responsibility of Northern women? That means that the line 23, 18 to 23 is not about Tubman, it's about Northern women. And here it says it's a network of slaves. So first of all, look in that sentence, 18 to 23, to find out what the main noun is. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at 18 to 23. All right, let's go ahead and find line 18. So it's right here, and the beginning of that sentence is right here. All right, during the Civil War, Tubman, that's our noun. And what did she do? The verb, she served as a teacher, 1, a laundress, I just wrote over it, 2, 3 is a cook, 4 is a spy, 5 is a scout. All right, so it looks like Tubman's the noun and she's got a bunch of different jobs. Let's Scooby-Doo that into the answers. All right, subgenus mapping. So Tubman is our noun here. Crucial role of Tubman, Tubman, and over here it's Northern women. That's off topic. Remember the sentence in question was about Tubman. Network of slaves, wrong noun. Both of those are out. All right, so we have Tubman is our noun, and Tubman is our noun here. All right, so let's see what the verb is. Important, wide-ranging contributions to the North, or crucial role played in the raid of the South. Raid, our verb, is off topic because it just talked about her being a cook, a teacher, a spy, and so forth, and that's going to be a synonym for wide-ranging for the North. All right, answer choice A for 27. Problem number 31, the author characterizes the comparison between the movement of gas molecules and highway traffic. It's a mystery question. We have to finger scan, try and find that area. All right, so I found highway traffic up here on line, oh, where is it up here? Traffic right here. All right, so that's where we're going to find it. But also, after I find the keyword, remember what you want to do is kind of just take your fingers and spread them apart like a bear claw and then just scratch down to see if you can find pirate flags. I see one right here. So that tells me that we're going to have to read down here, but also we're going to have to read above. So when you start reading up here, it says cars do not behave exactly like molecules. For example, the driver does. So that's not. And then when it says but, so it's going to say cars act like molecules, okay? So when we know over there, it's going to go not, and then it is. So it's going to go negative to positive, all right? Good stinky rule style. Intriguing, that's positive, and negative, that's backwards, so we can cross out A, all right? Imperfect, that's negative, and generally sound. Put a dot by it, that works. Promising, that's positive, and annoying, that's positive going negative. That's going to be the wrong direction, all right? Flawed, but nonetheless entertaining. Flawed and entertaining, okay? Entertaining, or it's going to be sound. So what we have to do is we have to read over here and try and see. Traffic of flowing molecule reproduce many of the same things. The real world traffic, is that entertaining or is that sound? It's sound. It's a Scooby-Doo synonym. The correct answer, therefore, is going to be answer choice B. Remember, use pirate flags and use the good stinky rule in conjunction with that. Remember, pirate flag, what is it? It's a word that tells you you got to read more. Hey, the answer has something to do with this word. So if you see in the area that we're looking, it doesn't matter if it's a mystery question where you finger scan, find that area, that keyword, or if it's a line reference, it tells you to go look at that line. Remember, when you're in that paragraph, just simply drag your fingers over the paragraph, and if you see words like but, yet, however, although, simply circle them and it tells you we need to read more. Problem 35, it's a mystery question. How do you know? It starts off with the word according. That's a good hint that it's mystery. According to the passage, here's your keyword, synchronized traffic. We're going to go ahead and find it. Should be pretty easy because it's got quotation marks around it. Let's go in the passage, find where it talks about synchronized traffic. Synchronized traffic, I found it right here on line 71. Once I found it, I simply read it. It says moving traffic in what they called synchronized traffic. Cars in all lanes abruptly slow down. All right. Look for an answer choice that Scooby-Doo is that. We're looking for cars that slow down. Remember, a mystery question, it's tough to locate because you got to pick the right word. You got to find the right word in the right area, and then the Scooby-Doo synonym should be pretty straightforward. All right. Safety improves slowed movement. Increase due to sudden simultaneous slowdowns. We're looking for traffic that slows down. Okay, traffic in all lanes suddenly starts moving at the same slowed speed. There it is right there. D, 35. Problem 37, it's a mystery question. First thing we do is pick our keyword. I go ahead and just underline stuff right away. The passage states that in response to the difficulties in applying equations describing the movement of gas molecules to the movement of highway traffic. All right, so I feel like the whole passage is about gas and traffic. So from the three words that we underlined, I'm going to go for equations. Let's go ahead, finger scan or find equations in the passage. When I finger scan to try and find the word equation, I find here on line 60, and then I just simply start reading some combinations of variables. All right, there it is right there, give rise to a sudden phase shift. Okay, on line 60 now all we have to do is go ahead and Scooby-Doo that into the answers. So when you have a combination of variables, you have multiple variables. Okay, so if you look over here, how are you going to get multiple variables? You are going to add some of the terms of the equation together. C is the correct answer. When you have a combination, you're not going to delete variables because you're going to get less. Combination means taking things that you have and kind of putting together in a new way and forming something new, which would mean to increase the number of options or variables. Answer choice C is better, D is out. Here it says realized how poorly understood molecules are about movement. That doesn't really have anything to do with equations. That's off topic. So we have gas molecule. That's off topic. And then develop an entire new model. We're not doing anything with a new model at all. You're just finding a variation on the same theme. C is the better answer choice on that for problem 37. Problem 38, it's a line reference question. So here's what we have to do. We have to go in here. It says based on the passage, what's the relationship does the discovery described in the third paragraph have with a chaos theory? So we have to find the relationship with the discovery. So what is the discovery? That's the keyword we're looking for, but right away it's going to be in the passage. It's not going to say the word discovery. So in line 32 to 46, we need to find another word for saying discovery. Remember, we're simply looking for a Scooby-Doo for another word saying discovery. So best thing to do, we've learned, is to start with the topic sentence and start reading. As I do that, I notice there's a pirate flag right here, so we know the answer is close by. The eeriest thing that came out of these equations was the implication that traffic congestion can also be completely spontaneous. There it is, that's the discovery. The discovery is it's spontaneous. Now, let's go ahead and look and see how that relates back to the chaos theory. So now it's time to Scooby-Doo. We have the word spontaneous and we have chaos theory. So chaos means random and spontaneous means it's just going to randomly appear spontaneously. It's going to come from nowhere. There's no real set start or finish. So you can see that both of these words, spontaneous and chaos, are kind of Scooby-Doo synonyms according to the topic. So when we come back over here, we're going to see that something that's chaotic could potentially be spontaneous because you don't really know where the start or the finish is. J is going to be the answer on that one, and if you got this one wrong, it's probably because it has something to do with Scooby-Doo. If you're still unclear, what you could do is you could go back and look for the word chaos, and you could get a better definition in the passage because the passage does talk about the chaos theory. Chaos and spontaneous, therefore, are going to be synonyms. J for 38. Problem 39 is a line reference question, so we have to go into these lines 36 to 38, summarize what we see in there. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. First thing we want to do is have a look at the topic sentence. Here it is right here. We'll notice that there's a pirate flag here that tells us the answer is close by. The eeriest thing that came out of these equations, however, is the implication that traffic congestion arises completely spontaneous. All right? Traffic happens spontaneous. Now let's look for a Scooby-Doo synonym saying the same thing. Think about what spontaneous means. So spontaneous, when we look over here, is it quick to resolve, slow developing, steady, or is it suddenly emerging? Spontaneous, suddenly emerging, that's a Scooby-Doo synonym. The correct answer on this for 39 is going to be D. Problem 40 looks like it's a mystery question. Author defines nonlinear, that's the word we're going to look for, as a phenomena in which what? Let's go ahead and find where it talks about nonlinear. Alright, as we go ahead and look for nonlinear, we're going to see it's down here at the bottom of the first column, and this is actually called the bell tower concept. It's super, super tough for your eyes to see when they split the paragraph in half. The topic sentence here is located on line 47, and then the details go all the way up to the top up here in line 55 down. Okay, so down over here it says scientists refer to these nonlinear phenomena as phenomena which seemingly negotiable changes in variables have disproportional great consequences. So it looks like small changes produce great events. That's what it says. Let's look for an answer choice that says basically the same thing as that. Once we found the key area that talks about seemingly negotiable changes have a disproportionate great consequence, we just want to find a synonym for that, okay? So here we have seemingly insignificant, seemingly important, that's off topic, it's not important. Small changes or large changes, so that one is out. Is it small changes that give you an equally small effect, or seemingly insignificant changes give you a disproportionately large effect? F is the correct answer when you Scooby-Doo that into the answer. Kids, thanks for watching. Those are the problems that you got wrong from the practice test 66C. We'll see you in the next video. Bye now.